Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Playable Worlds. We have our Fireside Chat number 46, believe it or not. And I'm excited to be here with Dave Georgeson, Thomas.
Hi.
Hello, Thomas. And I'm Carneros or Rick, depending on your mood. And we're excited to be talking about Stars Reach today. We have a brand new patch, a brand new update. I'm supposed to say update, not patch. I can't remember why. It's called the Twilight update. Dave, why is it called that? Do you remember?
Because we didn't have any other names.
There was a list of names. Most of them sucked. Okay, but this has nothing to do with vampires, people. It's because we have been receiving feedback regularly, actually, that darkness is too dark at night. I can't see anything. So we slightly relaxed the level of darkness at nighttime. And let us know if you think we got it about right, or if it needs to be somewhat darker or less dark still. But in the meantime, we picked the name Twilight because it's slightly less dark than darkness, and everyone's affected by the night cycle in this game. Unless you're just flying around in space. If you never go down to a planet, you never have to deal with that. It's a solution. This is a game where it's a sandbox. You're allowed to live wherever you want. If you don't want to live on a planet, you can live in space. You can live on a future spaceship that's not ready yet. But when it does come out, it will smell like a new car, I promise. But that's why it's called the Twilight update. But there's so much in this update. We couldn't just easily make a narrative around the style of updates in it to put together like we did for Brave New Worlds last time. I will spray it in myself if I have to, Dave. Okay. Let's jump in. Because there's so much in this patch, we can't really sit around and just giggle and tell old stories today. We have to start jumping in and looking at all this stuff. The server is getting unlocked, though, as we speak. We're going to take a break in... it's not? Soon?
No, it starts at 10.
It's going to get unlocked roughly at 10. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I'm breaking all the rules. Rod's probably swearing at his screen right now. And we're going to take a break in the middle and give away a Reacher pack. And then we're going to keep going, and hopefully we finish all of this by 10. And, hopefully Raph joins us a little later. Depends how he's feeling this morning. Not going to put any pressure on the boss. He's working his little butt off. So let's start with the tools and weapons refactor, Dave.
Yeah, sure. We originally created the tools that you've been using up until now, a long time ago. And the way that we did it was, it was kind of organic in R&D, and we built it up, but they were not useful for a lot of the techniques and features that we wanted to add in, like ways to be able to craft in stats and things like that. So we had to basically restructure the entire system for weapons and tools, and then we converted everything over. And while we did that, we also did a lot of things to them. One of the things that those of you who have been playing got used to was using tab to switch modes. So like, for instance, the Terraformer had like 4 modes and you tabbed through them. It was really not very intuitive, and it overcomplicated the tools, and it made it hard for them to understand what they could and couldn't do. And we never really wanted that. It's just we had very few tools, and we had the system and stuff like that. So we fixed all that. And now the tools have been broken up into the pieces that they're supposed to be broken into. So they all have like a main ability that you use with the left mouse button, and then also an E and Q ability, as well as we now use tab for the tools that need to be able to select resources. So when you hit tab, it'll bring open a menu and you can select what you want. It'll close and then you can keep working with it. So it's a lot more intuitive. It's a lot easier. We have the keystrokes for each of the different abilities are on the actual HUD. So you can see that it's tab for this and E for that and Q for that. So it's just a lot better. It's an easier system to understand.
It takes a moment to get used to it if you've been doing it the other way, and then you like it better. So you split up some of the functionality and stuff.
Yeah.
Terraformer, harvester, pruning shears. If you, what is that Japanese thing called where you make the plants really small?
Bonsai.
Bonsai. If you like bonsai plants, you can now shrink your plants with pruning shears.
Well, not that much. Basically, what growth is basically like a tree goes from seedling all the way up to mature size. And what grow does is it allows you to grow whatever size it is all the way up to mature. And what pruning does is you can take something from mature back down to sapling size or saplings down to seedling, so on and so forth. But you can only do that on your homestead. So you can't just go around shrinking trees in the wild. You can only do that on your homestead. And the same with stunt. Stunt is the ability to basically grow it up to a certain point and then say, don't grow anymore. I like the way you look right now. Don't grow anymore. And those are both the pruning and the stunting are both homestead only abilities. And it's so you can manicure the way your homestead looks with vegetation.
Nice. That would be handy IRL if we had it.
We had, in the last test when we premiered this build on Thursday, we had a question of where is assay now? Because you're used to assaying being on the terraformer. But assay is actually on the depositor, which might change its name soon because I think that's a weird name. But anyway, the depositor is what you use to deposit terrain back into the world, and it also has the assay function, which is a non-destructive way of finding resources in the world. Or you can use the terraformer and just kind of hunt and peck through stuff and dig a little and see what it is. But if you don't want to do the destroying, then you need the depositor and use the assay mode. Oh, one other change that we just put in for this hotfix. We forgot to put the maker scanners, the maker scanner function in the game when we did all the tools refactor. So when we did the hotfix, we looked through most of our tools, all the slots were filled. So we didn't really have a spot for it. So what we did was we decided, well, people don't generally have a lot of reason to use waypoints right now. So we took the waypoint function off of the Pathfinder for now, and we put the maker scanner in there. So if you're a ranger and you're using the path and you're running around getting nav points, you can also find makers now too. It's a temporary thing. Later on, we'll drift that to something else, probably in the xenobiology tree. But for now, that's where it's going.
Okay. And then let's talk about weapons. How did the weapons change, other than being converted to PQRV?
Yeah, PQRV. The weapons didn't change much at all. We restructured them so they're in the new system, and that allows us to make weapons at a much more rapid pace. What we're hoping to do in this next update is to start turning out real weapons. What you've been using for the last, year or so has been R&D weapons. So the gravity gun, the companion orbs, and the Omni Blaster were all temporary things. And what we're going to start doing now is starting to roll out the real weapons for the game. So we'll start working on some of those. And this system, converting the stuff over, allowed us to make sure that everything still worked. And now we can take the next step of making new stuff.
You're doing a great job, Thomas. Okay, great. I didn't know that. I didn't know those were all temporary weapons. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, I think it's time to talk about PQRV, which I know is potential, quality, resilience, and versatility.
You read that. Did you really memorize that?
No.
I'm impressed. I'm just going to square with it. Yes, you memorized that.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah,
potential, quality, resilience, and versatility. those are all things you might want in a tool or a weapon or a shield or, yeah.
Basically, the system rolls out like this. Like when you're making items, of course, you're building them out of resources. Later on, you'll also build them out of I forgot what we're calling them. Interim widgets, so like you can make cogs and handles and things like that. I don't remember what the phrase is that they're using in game. But right now it's all resources. So when you get resources, you have to pick and choose which resources you're using. And the reason why you want to pick and choose is, like, for instance, not all irons are the same. If you get iron on one planet, it'll have different stats, different PQRV stats than iron from another planet. So you gather that up. Now, in this update, we're letting you those stats actually matter. So when you excuse me for the burps, when you are crafting an item, up in the upper right corner of the screen, I think cool.
He's showing it.
Thank you, Thomas. Up in the upper right corner of the screen is the PQRV stats, and if you click on a recipe, like, say, click on the depositor. Oh, you got the companion orbs. Good. Up in the upper right corner, it'll tell you which of those stats matter for that particular item that you're building. So, like, for instance, I can't see it because I don't have the whole screen enlarged. But, so right there. So you're doing the companion orb. Up there in the corner, you can see that potential matters for node ring count, which means how many things are circling around you when you activate that special. Boomerang shot count is how many projectiles go out in the boomerang. When you get that to a high stat, it's actually a really cool effect. Battery regen is how fast it regens, and max battery is just how big the capacitor is in your weapon. So when you put together those things, you want to make sure that you're getting stats out of the resources that matter for the things you care about in the end result of the weapon. And then when we combine those things together, and this is almost too much information, I'm sure, but when you combine those things together, we take an average. We take all the different elements, we drop out the lowest one, we average the rest, and that's what the end result is. So that's the way it works. And then right now, the player-facing stats that we give you when the item is created, well, they're not going to have a lot of meaning to you because we didn't take the effort to player-facing stats right now. But you can tell, like, when it says, I think it tells you what the percentage of the total that you can do is. I think it does. But no, that's what we wanted to do. Right now, it's just going to show you, like, it goes, it says 673 for battery regen. You're like, what does 673 mean? And I'm sorry, that doesn't mean anything to you. But 1500 is the max in this particular case. So if your max battery is, like, on this right here, he's looking at 326 or 362, that's on the low end of the scale. You can get that up quite a bit, quite a ways farther than it is. And it depends upon what you build it out of. We'll make the interface a lot more understandable and easy to grok as we go forward, but it does work right now. So if you want something that's really great in a specific capacity, that's how you do it. And then later on, the skill nodes will also matter for that stuff too. So we're going to do combat next update, and then we're going to do a lot of non-combat stuff the update after that. So a lot of stuff coming down the pike for you.
Okay. PQRV, potential, quality, resilience, versatility.
Nice.
We have to all practice it. Okay, we put new shops into the game. And the shops are located, if I may point out my picture for a moment, on the TPL Starbase in space. Woo! I am modeling today's TPL uniform. I'm just kidding. It's a TPL t-shirt. If you get the black one, by the way, it does not have Charlie on the back. Last stream, I showed you the navy blue one that had Charlie on the back, but this one is no Charlie.
Charlie.
And we went off base. If you need any merch, go to starsreach.com/store, and you can get some merch. There's a bunch of fun stuff there, and we change it out from time to time. If you have any requests or comments or feedback in the Discord, just at Voodoo and put in your comments. He's the one who designs all our clothing and merch. And you could tell him, hey, I like the Aloha shirt finally, or hey, Voodoo, give us a turtleneck or whatever, that kind of thing. He'll take it all into consideration. That's why we did the Aloha shirts. We got a lot of requests for it. But I went off base there. New shops in the TPL Starbase. Tell us what we've got, Dave.
Okay. Well, we had the title shop, and we did that one because, boy, was it easy to do. So we just threw it in there. But this time around, we did two other pretty useful. The most useful of them is the tools kiosk. So when you first start and you get a profession, you usually end up with a couple of things, like maybe a weapon and like either a terraformer or a harvester, and then something else. And you feel limited when you start as a character, especially if you played before we did all this. So you feel kind of limited. You're like, wow, I really wish I had a harvester or a pathfinder or something like that to be able to do these other aspects of the game. So what we did was we put in stripped down versions of the tools. They don't have any specials, and they're pretty much on the low end of the stats. But you can go in and you can buy them for claw twos. So when you run missions and stuff like that, you can accumulate claw twos, and you can go buy one of these stripped down things, and it allows you to more easily leverage your way up and into the skill trees that you want to go into. So you get your early starting profession, you run a few missions, you start accumulating. Once you get to about 1,000 twos, you can go in and get something else. That opens up another set of missions. Makes it easier to accumulate more cash, and essentially you get up to the point where you have access to most things most of the base tools in the game, and maybe an extra weapon, and then you can run out and do the rest of the game. Or you can keep running missions if you want to. Whatever floats your boat. We're going to keep putting more stuff in there that costs money. The other shop that we put in is the Homesteader shop, and this is more of a big deal because it's way different than the other stuff it's way different than the way we did it before. So we recently divorced the Homesteader from the camping tool. So now you don't have to learn how to camp in order to be able to set down the homestead. But to get a Homesteader object, you need to go to the Homesteader store on the Starbase, and you spend claw twos to get that. There's been a lot of feedback on that already, and we're going to take that into account, but it works. And once you have a Homesteader object, well, first you have to earn the right to be able to put down a homestead, which is earned in the architect skill tree. So once you learn how to do that, then you can acquire a homesteader, you can put it down and claim an area of a planet for your homestead, and then you can build there.
Now, let's stop and check one thing with the folks here. If you have never played Stars Reach, you've never logged into the game and run around, not even once, do me a favor and type an X in stream chat, because we're assuming a fair amount of context here for folks. But if you've never had a chance yet, oh, old man, I know you're joking. Okay, Gail Drake. Oh, but you got your invitation today. Grats. Marox, Silani, Oxholy, Necromonger, Crime Wolf. Oh, nice. Nice. Did any other folks get their invite and are ready to try it today? Is that anyone else? Not X. Okay. But it's been a while. Yeah, I hear you, Mage. I hope you're feeling better, by the way.
Yeah, we sent,
and you were on Thursday.
We sent me invites, I guess, yesterday. So if you did not receive one, please message maybe me, and I'll try to get you in as soon as possible.
By me?
Yeah, sorry. If you're on Discord, from me, okay, on Discord, Thomas, from me, or you can submit a ticket to the support page, support@playableworlds.com, correct?
I think it's support at, playableworlds.com.
Yeah, it's Playable World, yeah. Because in the future, it's going to change because we're going to use the Zendesk form. So it will be more simple to contact us.
Okay. But yeah, if you PM from me or send a note to support@playableworlds.com, we'll try to see what happened to your invitation. We invited a bunch of people in the last, 12 hours or so.
Yeah.
Also, please check your spam filter. Also, please assume that the email that came doesn't say Playable Worlds on it. It says firstlook.gg as the return address. Old Man Observer, your old eyes are absolutely correct. This play session, starting at the top of the hour, is designed to go for 70 hours because we need to test if this stuff, if it will stay up that long. Maybe I didn't say that right. But we're working our way towards 24/7 operation, so we need to do some longer tests. Okay. That's what's up. Also, why don't we set up for a giveaway? Can we do that, Thomas?
Yep.
Excellent. We're going to give away a Reacher tier package. You can see them. You can either see them on our Kickstarter, believe it or not. It still have late pledges available there. I'm going to throw the link in chat just for the heck of it. And there. You can also go to starsreach.com/store and see the Reacher tiers there. Or you could smile and just win one right now. That would work. If you already have a Reacher tier, this won't do you anything. But you could give it to your significant other, your friend, etc. Or you could quietly go and make yourself another Steam account. I didn't say that. Shh, don't do that. Or you can just let someone else win today. Let's see. Dave. Okay, give it to that friend on the fence you're trying to convince. Yeah, that's a good one. I don't really remember the tiers, but I believe I had a ranger. If you need help with Oxholy, if you need help figuring that out, you can reach out to support@playableworlds.com. And Thomas and I are able to look that up for you on firstlook.gg and then tell you what tier you had. Well,
Okay.
we'll do it after the stream.
We can start with the giveaway if you want.
Koze, what's the word?
Light.
Light. Oh, okay. Yes, Fen Oyster
Okay. Now it's
was
open.
the first. If you type light, you enter the giveaway. If you don't type it, or you type dark, you give someone else a chance to win. And thank you.
Okay, good.
We're going to let this run for a couple minutes. And in the meantime, we're going to go back over to the shops. We talked enough about the shops. By the way, if you're at the TPL Starbase and you're looking for the shops, in your mind, picture a Japanese vending machine, the kind that sells waffles, socks, anything. Picture something like that. I have seen all kinds of things for sale in a Japanese vending machine. They're amazing. I wish we did those in the US. Oh, geez, Thomas.
Yeah, I know. There's someone following me. Probably.
Okay. All right. Well, run faster.
I'm fine.
Okay. Next stuff up. I don't want to do resource selection because I don't want him to stop.
We can do the long range scanning and then talk about resource selection at the end.
Go for it.
So finding resources in the game used to be really hard. You basically had a short range scanner, expanding the scanner, and eventually, hopefully you found something, but sometimes it would be 15, 20 minutes before you found something that you were looking for. And not all planets had what you were looking for, and it was just kind of it was not a great experience. It was way better than what we had before that, which was nothing, but yeah, it wasn't a great experience. So what we've done this time around is we flip-flopped all the way over to the other extreme, And currently, it's very easy to find resources. So you have the long-range scanner. When you have your terraformer, you have an E function that you can pulse. And if you're far away from something, it'll show an arc that shows you what direction to go to. If you go in that direction, generally, you'll close in, you'll close in, you'll close in. And when you finally get close enough, then it'll do the short-range pulse that we had before and show you where the stuff is so you can dig down to it, like what you're seeing on Thomas's screen right now. The gameplay behind it is almost not there because we make it really easy for you to find the stuff. Challenging going forward. We want to give the player more interesting decisions to make while they're doing it. But for right now, we opted on the side of, well, okay, they've had enough pain. Let's make it easy for a while. And then we'll ratchet it back down and make it into something the way we want. Kind of like what we did with weapon strengths and tool strengths and everything like that, which we just recently ratcheted down also. So it's much easier to find stuff. If you're a specific thing, you can use the resource selector. So you can hit tab and that opens up a window. And then when that window is open, you can see all of the things that you can search for on that planet. Later on, it's not going to be everything. Like right now, you can see everything that's on the planet. So you can pick something, you can search for it. Later on, what it might be to start with would be, you'll see like a category of stuff, like metal. And then you can click one and it'll go, hey, there's some metal over there. I don't know what it is yet because you don't know what it is yet. And you'll run over there and dig for it, and then you'll go, oh, it's iron. And then whenever you open up the resource selector to scan for iron, it'll go, hey, you want to look for iron or do you want to look for some other category? And you'll work your way through it and start to learn stuff. But right now, you can see everything because, yay, pre-alpha. Yeah, but it's much better than it was.
Excellent. All right, time out. Thomas, is this a good time to award a prize?
Yeah, it is. Oh.
All right, ready? Everyone cross your fingers.
I want to win.
I need 2 hands to do it.
No,
I want to win.
not this time.
Come on, Kicks.
Please, anyone but Dave.
Kicks. Come on, Kicks.
It's loading.
Do it.
Ilanis,
Congratulations.
Ilanis, so here's what we need you to do. Type ! Claim, Ilanis. Okay, yay. And then what will happen is Thomas, but in disguise as PlayStars Reach, will reach out to you through the Twitch interface and message you. And you can give him your girlfriend's email address and he'll set her up. All right. Okay. Perfect. Look at that. Someone can read and follow directions. This is not EVE Online, I tell you. Good job. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. There are a bunch more improvements to talk about. Audio. There's now an audio cue if you're listening and you play with the sound on. When a creature is aggro on you, you can hear that and you go, oh crap, I better run.
Which is totally not the Jaws theme, but we call it the Jaws theme. Because you'll be running along and all of a sudden it goes, vroom, and you're like, oh. So that's good.
Yeah, Kurt has a sense of humor. I love it. Audio in space has been improved, and there are now audio cues when the servitors res in a crate for you, for example. Like during the first time you play through and you get a little bit of a tutorial to teach you how to move around in the game, you'll hear audio cues when the crate reses in next to you.
It's pretty something.
Yeah. Okay, combat. Tell
a bunch of bugs.
Yeah, little things. Creatures now regen health when they're not in combat with you. They don't just sit around complaining. Yeah.
Yeah, we just fixed the bug. It used to regen, and then it didn't for an update. Now we fixed it.
Okay, thanks.
Most of these are bug fixes, but one of the things we did was there used to be 3 versions of white creatures. which are the ones you could solo really easily. And the lowest level of them was just annoying. They were everywhere, and they just ran away from you most of the time. They couldn't hurt you, so we got rid of them. We'll put back in creatures that are not combat oriented later on when we start making the worlds even more full than they are. Prey animals, deer and bunnies and things like that are not necessarily combatants. But right now we're just focused on the combat game and making that better. So we took out those really trivial ones. We adjusted the spawner limits. We changed the density of encounter groups so that you don't end up fighting like 16 or 18 different creatures all at the same time. We just generally tuned it a little bit better. We're teaching ourselves how to build these worlds because nobody's done this before. And we're just kind of bracketing in on the good gameplay.
That lava is not a good sign, Thomas.
No, it'll never reach me. It's fine.
You also shouldn't get any kill missions of ridiculously tough stuff anymore. And we tuned a few other things, but they're all described in, immunities. And I think the one that people will notice if they fight a lot is the duration of stuns and frozen and stuff like that. We decreased that because it just wasn't fun the way it was. So we tweaked it, made it a little bit more fun, and we also made it so that you can use the consumables that let you unfreeze or unstun while you're frozen or stunned, which was just an oversight for why we didn't have it before.
Oops. Yep. Good. Also, our economy is starting up, isn't it? We can now trade Klatus with each other.
Yeah. Hopefully that's a big deal.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, it's still kind of early days, right? But now, for instance, if you are a crafter and you can make really cool tools and everything like that, there are definitely people out there that are playing that don't want to necessarily do all that work. They don't want to be a crafter. They don't want to have to leverage up their skill trees and that kind of thing. So now that you can pay for Klatus, pay with Klatus, you can do a little bit of a barter to action in order to be able to pay for the thing. Now, the trick is we still don't have a lot of reasons why you must have Klatus. Later on, when we have maintenance fees and there's item damage and things like that, there will be lots of reasons to be able to continuously spend Klatus. So that'll get stronger as we add in more of the rest of the economy features. But the basics are there now.
An original last-ditch plan is correct. If you're running a contest, you can give out Klatus as a prize. Yep.
True.
This is all true. Oh, Thomas is making a mess up there.
Oh my god.
He's going to make the stream.
Me.
Okay. Oh my goodness, Thomas. Okay.
It's always me.
What else? Let's see. There are a lot of little changes. Oh, there are a couple of known issues at the moment. You can't hide your heads-up display to take a screenshot right now. Because we're in the middle of redoing our user interface and updating all of it and making it great, we're caught in the middle at the moment, and it doesn't fully clear the screen for a screenshot at the moment. That will be fixed. It's a temporary thing. It's a known issue. Also, if your fabricator tool starts to go unresponsive, try holstering it and then unholstering it again.
Actually, it's usually like the first time you try to use a fabricator, you might have to equip it, unequip it, equip it, and then it should work thereafter just fine. But yeah, there's a little bit of a bug there.
Okay.
And if that doesn't work, just switch to a different weapon and then come back. Fine.
Okay. Another thing that we're in the middle of is we're changing the math behind seasons. So at the moment we turned it off in this. So don't go out into the grass, set up a picnic, and wait for the seasons to change for photography reasons or something. They're not going to change right now. We temporarily pause that system while we work on the algorithm.
But a side effect of pausing the seasons was when we were just trying to get the worlds to look like summer again. But we had done so much plumbing with seasons that was actually a lot harder than we thought it was going to be. So there was a lot of places that it touched. And in the course of figuring out how to make that stick instead of rotating all the time, we found out that there was a small bug. It was like a checkbox on the plants that were keeping them from spreading. So there were a lot of plants that were in the database that were not showing up in the worlds. So we repopulated the worlds after we found that bug as part of the hotfix, and you should see a lot more variety in the worlds now.
Yay!
Maybe stuff you haven't seen before. So yay, gunk.
Okay. And there's one more known issue that I added myself this morning, and that is, yay gunk. That is there's a gorgeous, huge Gaia-class star cruiser in the space zone that Gunk made. I understand it has 64 homesteads combined together to make this starship, if that gives you some idea of how massive it is. And they put out a beautiful video. Hang on a second. I'm going to stick that in chat too.
Cool.
Copy link. That explains the story of it a little bit. It's a fun video. It's short. You'll like it. But if you go near the starship and look at it, your client performance will be affected temporarily. This is a known issue. What?
It's going to go in the toilet. But what they've done for us by doing that is they exposed. I mean, we knew that density of props was eventually going to be a problem, but yay, they brought it right to the front for us. So we're now going through a process of revamping all of our hard surface objects with a new technique on how to render them, which should greatly speed that up. They just beat us to the punch by about an update.
Yeah.
There's a lot of objects in that Star Cruiser.
Yeah, it's beautifully done. By the way, if you want another view on all the stuff that we put in the Twilight update, Control Chaos put out a nice video on everything in this patch also. So you can stick that in and listen to that if you want. But good stuff. How are we doing on time? We're still good. I want to encourage you guys, if you have questions, to put them into stream chat, and we will answer questions for you. No charge. What's the status of creature taming from Old Man Observer?
It's
I'm
not
gonna
going
leave
to
that
change
one.
right away. We have the doc. We know exactly what we're taming. We worked out all the details. We just currently don't have it slated. I can tell you this: it won't be in the next update. The one that we're working on internally right now. It will not. It might be in the one after that, but we still haven't picked and chose exactly which skill trees we're doing in that update yet. We'll be deciding that over the next week.
Also, when Dave says we have the doc, let me explain a little bit of internal stuff on that one. There's a design document for each feature in the game, or for each gameplay system in the game. Sandbox games are made up of interlocking game systems that are independent but all affect each other. And that's part of the magic of Sandbox games. And we have a design document for each of those as one of the phases of building it. So that's what he meant by that.
The weird part of being a designer or a director is that games take multiple years to create. And for most of that time, the only place that the game exists is in your head. So you have to see the whole game and then be able to document it in such a way that the rest of the team can understand the craziness that you're talking about. And it's a cool job.
That's exactly right. Next question. What snacks will you offer during the launch party? It's a good question. Good question.
Make no commitments.
I'm probably going to do it's called shuijiao in Chinese. They're dumplings like pot stickers, except they're the steam version instead of the fried version. And we'll dip them in a soy sauce, vinegar, chili pepper combo thing. That's a lot of fun.
We're going to have little cubes of food, all of different colors, and then give you a little tool so that you stack them on each other and make little structures.
Next question. When will we be able to group up together? And when will the leadership skill tree get implemented?
Again, I don't know. Yeah, I just don't know. Grouping is on our hot list. It's definitely going to be there, obviously, before EA, before we go early access and stuff. But I'm not exactly sure when it's coming up yet. The leadership is on our list of things to discuss about which skill trees we're doing after the combat ones that we're working on now, but I don't know.
Okay. What feature do you hope to get to within the next 1 to 2 months that you're most excited about? Oh, Dave will have an opinion.
Most excited about.
While you're thinking, I'm going to add mine. I want us to be able to do movement with the arrow keys like we do with the WASD so that you can use either hand on the keyboard.
Okay. I think that'll be part of when.
Whenever
we give the player the ability to change it, be part of that. But I think probably one of the things that I'm looking forward to implementing is the planetary health stuff, so that you can keep an eye on what you're actually doing to a world, and how many creatures have gone extinct, how many flora things have been destroyed, what is the overall health of the planet, and then letting the servitors get kind of uppity about it when you push things too far. So those are things that are coming. And then I'm also really looking forward to some of the social structures like chat and grouping and things like that, because those will have a huge impact.
Yeah. Corbin Reynolds asks, do you think the combat update will be out before the 95-hour playtest on Labor Day weekend? Here's the thing. We're putting out one update at a time. During the Twilight update, we're not going to add any new features. Those are being added now for the next update, which doesn't have a name yet.
When is it?
September 1st.
It's
about
close.
2 weeks away. It's getting close. Yeah.
It'll be really close, but no.
Yeah.
It's going to be right after that.
Sorry, Corbin. But close. Let's see. Next question. Oh, you guys are still talking about stacking cubes of food.
You're welcome.
And the ability to move the camera with the keyboard. Yeah, that's key mapping. I'm looking for another question, guys.
Let's see what else is there over in the.
Yeah, you guys have to not break your hands, please. We need you.
Oh, one of the other that list of bug fixes and everything like that is really long. But one of the other things that's pretty cool to talk about is we have sorting features in the inventory. So it used to be we let you get 15 different kinds of iron, and then there was this huge long laundry list, and you're like, I don't know. So you can both search for something, so like you can type iron in that box and it'll only show you the irons, but you can also sort by name or potential or quality or resilience or versatility and be able to get them stack ranked by that, so that when you're doing crafting, it's pretty easy to tell stuff. Also, like what Thomas is showing right now, you can see that the PQRV stats can actually be shown right off the bat. So it's reasonably easy to be able to do stuff, but this is still a work in progress, and we'll be improving it as we go.
Okay, PDX420 is asking, when will we have new weapons? You mentioned them really briefly earlier in the show.
Yeah,
roughly.
Avi and I are going to start working next week. And we know which weapons we're going to attack first, but I don't want to commit to which ones yet, because if we run into blocks, we're going to switch and do something else. But I don't know. Has Raph talked about the different stuff? I think so. We're going to start with stuff that's basic. And by basic, I mean not just stuff like energy whips and things like that yet. We're going to start with pistols and rifles and shotguns. That's pretty much what we're starting. Now, they'll all be really cool. There'll be a lot of stuff you want to do, but what our goal is to be able to do those weapons and then also have very much enlarged skill trees to go with them, so that there's reasons to fight. You want to be able to advance up and be able to get multiple specials. Did I leak special switching? I think I just did. So I won't talk about that right now, but we'll talk about it for the next update.
Okay, all right. That was a leak, ladies and gentlemen. Old Man Observer is asking a question. He's never asked this before. When are we going to get Hawaiian shirts in-game? That's part of the clothing system, huh?
Just never happy, are you? I would like that.
He's been asking this for literally months. It's great. Yeah. I love it. Yeah, we need the clothing system in first. But, heck, sure. We even have a design now for a Hawaiian shirt, courtesy of Voodoo. And then let's see, toaster trade. When will we see player vendors? Well, that's not for a while.
That's not for a while, but the kiosks and stuff that you see in game right now are a step in that direction.
Yeah.
So we're working on it.
Do you foresee a chance in the future where a player could have a vending machine instead of a shopkeeper for selling their stuff when they're offline?
Well, I mean, it's the same thing, really.
It is.
It's just a different interface.
Okay, never mind. How many, Chef Jarek asks, how many planets do you intend to have in at launch? I thought he was going to say, how many planets do you have to have? I want to have in at lunch, but it's launch. Okay.
We will have all of the planets we have for launch at that time.
Okay.
Which is a smart-ass way of saying we honestly don't know yet. So what we're going to be doing over the next months is playtesting with you all to figure out what the ebb and flow of players is. Because right now you don't even have the right mechanics in there to be able to ascertain how often you're going to stay on a planet. There's some social dynamics that go with that. And I know we only have a few minutes, but let me wax poetic for a second. So players, there's a couple of motivations. Like there's what I've always called ravagers and caretakers. Ravagers are ones that like to strip mine planets and take them for what they've got, and caretakers are ones that like to make like Garden of Eden sort of things out of a planet. And those two groups of people are very diametrically opposed in a lot of what they like to do in the game. So we're going to have frontier planets. We have the wild planets and everything like that, so that the Ravager mentality people can go out and do those kinds of things. And then there's also this dynamic element that happens with populations. When populations are actively going to a planet a lot of the times, that planet is going to stick around. So if players are constantly going to a cool planet that they love and building on it and making it into something special, that planet's going to stick around. But if there's another planet where nobody cares about it, they don't like the way it looks, or it doesn't have the right minerals, or just doesn't appeal to people, the servers will be closing worm gates to that planet and opening up worm gates to other planets. Because remember, this is all an experiment from the old ones. The servitors are running that experiment, and you are part of the experiment. So as they open and close worm gates, they're finding out what kinds of planets you thrive on. And there's underlying stuff that we'll get to later. But that whole ebb and flow of planets is something that we'll be experimenting with when we get to 24/7 and beyond, where you are deciding how those worm gates open and close based on what you're actually doing and what your behaviors are. That makes sense? I hope it does. Anyway, it's going to be really cool. It'll be very different because, well, I mean, what other game does that? Period. But yeah, it'll be very interesting. What you guys care about will stick around. What you don't care about will disappear. And then there'll be all kinds of opportunity for PvP on the fringes and all this other stuff. We'll get to it.
Nice. As part of that, by the way, you will notice today we have a different wild planet when the server opens in another 5 minutes compared to Thursdays. So just be advised. Yeah. Will space get bigger? Asks Marcus from Oz. Will the space zone get bigger, Dave?
Probably is the answer. Right now, planets are 1K by 1K, and that's intended to get a lot bigger. We want to go to 2K by 2K first, and then 4K by 4K, and that sounds like it's only a little bit bigger, but it's really a lot bigger. A 4K is actually 16 times bigger than a 1K. And we're limited to a certain size for planets because that's a lot of volumes. That's a lot of cubes of terrain out there in the world, in the order of billions. Okay, so there's a lot of rendering cost and everything that goes with that. But in space, we don't have that. The asteroids are terrain, but they're a very limited volume of terrain. So in theory, it's possible for us to make very large space zones. And we want to do that because starships will be fast. So we have much more work to do to get to that point, but the intent is that space will get big.
Okay. PC Lab Tech, which makes it sound like he's at work and shouldn't be playing games right now, but I'm just teasing, asks, when can we have the ability to pass rights to all alt characters, like pass permissions to alt characters?
I don't know yet. The intention is that permissions on Homestead should be account-wide. So you shouldn't have to pass permissions, but that's not going to be soon. We know exactly what we want, but it's not soon.
Okay. Gunk asks, when are we potentially going to see shared storage? Lovely
Shared
question.
storage. Shared storage. We are. Oh, we're working on it right now. There you go.
Okay. All right. Good. Potty Mouth. That's very honest. Asks, will combat animations be smoothed out as well as movement and aiming?
Yeah, absolutely. Pre-alpha is all. For the longest time, we've had. There have been limitations. We had other things that we had to do first. We'll get back to polishing that stuff before we release, for sure.
We're not at that phase yet, bro. Toaster Trade. Okay, no. Old Man Observer won't be able to visit a new world that is procedurally generated. No, I'm not sure if I understand the question there. There won't be a fixed number of planets, correct?
There will not be a fixed number of planets. But like I said about that social ebb and flow, there may end up being a lot of static planets because people care about them. And they're visiting them all the time, and they're building stuff and everything like that. And those planets might stick around. We might end up with a Trantor, or I don't know, pick a planet from a sci-fi show you like. But there might be cities of people on those, and those planets would stick around. And depending upon the population of the game is how many worlds we would open up. So that'll ebb and flow a lot based on what the players do and how many players we actually have. But that is part of why we have wild wormholes. Wild wormholes are always an escape mechanism for finding new stuff and searching new frontiers, even if nothing else changes. But we don't expect anything to stay very static in this game.
Chartail is asking, will when transportation comes, will there be capacity limits to what your transportation can hold?
Yes.
Very much
so. Yeah, absolutely. Your ship has an inventory just like you. Okay. So yeah, there will definitely be limits to it.
Okay. Bork the Builder asks, are y'all still tracking to be Steam Early Access by the end of the year and launch in Q1 2026?
I got nothing to say here.
I'm marking it. I will say you can expect us to be on Steam Early Access this year. And we are planning for a 2026 launch, but that's more. I haven't heard anyone promise Q1 or anything like that. But
you'll never get a date from me.
Yeah,
never gonna happen.
The servitors are watching him carefully, so he can't say that.
The doors are open. The doors.
Yeah, I noticed that from the spike leg. So something opened.
Okay. So some of you have noticed that the play test has opened up, and y'all can run in there and hopefully someone will save Thomas, who's being shot at by creatures.
No, I'm hoping to hear no escape.
Wait, is space and the planets a seamless space? They're separated sections by design so that each section can have different space rules or different rules. For example, we can have a PvP planet, we can have a PvE planet, etc., etc. There's more than that. That's a simplification. Okay, awesome. I guess early access will basically make it alpha status now. Do you want to answer that for Chef Jarek? Will we? No.
I don't do dates.
I
don't do dates. Don't ask me about dates.
All right. PD420 asks, will we be able to build, I guess it's build, there's a word missing, make our own warp gates?
Warp gates. Oh, how to answer this? The answer is, right now worm gates are built by the servitors. And that is because worm gates are old one tech, and humans don't comprehend it. Now, is it going to stay that way? I don't know. Can you learn old one tech?
Maybe eventually. We shall see. Okay.
Well.
All right. I think we got through all of our questions. Cool. This is a long play test. There's another long play test later in the upcoming week. We will be back Thursday morning with another live stream. We've got a lot of work to do.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
Working at Playable Worlds is never lacking for something.
Never. Yeah. Big thank you to Thomas behind the scenes. Thank you for Dave for joining us this morning. A big thank you to Rod, who's coming in on his day off to help out in answering questions as well. I've seen you answering questions. Thank you to our moderators who are helping, even though Stream Chat doesn't need much moderation. Appreciate all of you. If you are supposed to be in the playtest today and you don't see instructions for how to do it, go check your mail and your spam filter, and then write to us at support@playableworlds.com. Thomas and I will be checking our emails.
Cool.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye
It was
bye.
a great playtest.